2021, a year of significance for our nation, the Royal Australian Air Force, and we, the people Air Force serve. The World War I Australian Flying Corps of 1914 morphed into today's Royal Australian Air Force in 1921. 2021 marks the centenary of our nation's air arm. Air Force is a first responder to bushfire-ravaged regions, floods and evacuations at home and abroad, and Air Force capability steeped in achievements, remarkable wartime and peacekeeping actions. May we never forget the bravery and sacrifice of thousands of World War II RAAF crews and pilots. One such case, Australian fighter pilot Clive Caldwell served in North Africa, Syria, Lebanon, and the New Guinea campaign, the Battle for Australia. Flying P-40 Warhawk, Kitty Hawk and Spitfire aircraft, Caldwell accounted for 28 enemy aircraft in more than 300 operational sorties. During the Battle for Australia, Clive Caldwell accounted for more than 22 enemy aircraft in the skies over New Guinea, deadly aerial combat likened to barroom brawls. There were no rules. Centenary of Air Force proudly boasts pride, capability and strength in the people of our nation's air arm, and sacrifice, lost pilots and crew etched in our nation's memory. Imagine, after each mission, it was off to sleeping quarters. There were always empty bunks that were occupied by pilot and crewmates the night before. Such loss. No time to dwell. The job was on again the next day. In 1942, after Japanese forces had brutally swept through Southeast Asia, Sister Constance Watt, Australian Army Nursing Service, was sent to 119th Hospital Darwin, attached to Army Nursing. It was 1942 when all hell broke loose when Japanese forces bombed Darwin, bringing World War II to Australia. Sister Watt counted 7 groups of 9 Japanese planes. Bombs began exploding all around. She said, "I kissed the dirt and kept my fingers crossed." 250 people were killed, hundreds were wounded, many with severe burns flooded into the Army 119th Hospital. In Darwin Harbour, the hospital ship Manunda was also hit. Our nurses got amongst the inferno to treat numerous casualties. It was the first of many air raids. I was lucky. Hundreds were not. After the World War II battles on the New Guinea Kokoda Track came the Battle of the Bismarck Sea, a turning point in enemy aggression. In 1942, RAAF pilot Terry Dygan from Geelong, aboard an RAAF Catalina flying boat operating north of New Guinea, located a 16-ship Japanese fleet, seeking to reinforce their coastal base at Lae. Terry Dygan shadowed and harassed the enemy fleet, flying in and out of cloud while tracking and reporting the fleet's location. The following day, RAAF bombers and fighters joined the United States Army Air Force in disabling the fleet. The American-Australian joint attack effectively ruined Japanese reinforcement of Lae and their ultimate target, Port Moresby, and annexation of Australia. Battle for Australia aerial combat, it was do or die in the skies over Port Moresby, Milne Bay, Japanese-occupied islands. It was courage and commitment to the task, from which RAAF camaraderie grew, in turn enabled operational teamwork to grow. Mateships often formed in the crucible of combat, amid the stress, high in the sunlit silence, where unbreakable bonds were formed. Bonds, mateships, that enabled men to depart day after day into danger, gave resolve to the War in the Pacific fighter pilots, No. 75 Squadron and No. 76 Squadron, in their heroic and tenacious defence of Port Moresby. 2021 Air Force Centenary is about 100 years of service, fighting and caring about the person next to you, putting yourself on the line. World War II RAAF pilots, to quote their hand-on-heart code, "We wouldn't let any of our crew down. Any one of us would have given our lives to save our crew. They were more to us than our own flesh and blood." Today's Royal Australian Air Force is a well-trained, potent enemy deterrent, operating sophisticated world-class technology with highly trained people. People remain the air arm's most important asset. In this centenary year of the RAAF, we remember all who served in war, conflict and peacekeeping, 100 years of commitment, mateships and sacrifice. Shrine Young Ambassador joins us. He is Andrew Falkenhauser, Year 10 at Milne College.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil